Chapter 1. After a fight with my nemesis, I was knocked unconscious by something falling from above. When I woke up, I decided to play dumb, feign amnesia, and milk him for money. "Who are you?" He was shocked, then blurted out, "I'm your boyfriend. We've been together for 8 years. Me? Huh? Him? How about a kiss?" To refresh your memory, this guy, what a dog. I'm after his money, and he's after my lips? I've known Hawaii since we were kids. We became sworn enemies at 17. Honestly, we were childhood sweethearts, a perfect match on paper. But we just couldn't get along. Early that morning, he snatched a business deal with Shun Corp. Right out from under me, I confronted him at his desk, fuming. "Does it taste that good? Stealing meat from my mouth?" "Well, I hate you." Hui, legs crossed, muttered something I couldn't hear. Then my phone rang. I put it on speaker, and the voice on the other end said Shin Huichuan had just landed. If I wanted to salvage the deal, getting to Shin Huichuan might be my only chance. Besides, Shin Huichuan and I were high school classmates. He jumped to his feet, anxious. "You can't go see him. I need to talk to you. I was too angry to listen. "I'm going. Who are you to tell me what to do?" I stormed out of Hua Corp. A typhoon was about to hit, and the wind was howling. I looked up just as a hanging pothos plant from the second floor fell and hit me on the head. Before I blacked out, I saw Hawaii rushing towards me, panicked and furious. Was he coming to check if I was dead so he could steal my client? So ruthless. As I regained consciousness, the faint smell of disinfectant filled my nose. Then I heard the doctor giving a report. "Miss Sue is fine. She might have a mild concussion. She may experience some vomiting and dizziness. Please monitor her closely when she goes home." "Why isn't she waking up? Will there be any lasting effects?" The doctor explained. Miss Sue is asleep." Me pretending to be unconscious. I fainted for a second, then fell asleep. My mind raced. This was my chance to squeeze some money out of Hawaii to compensate for the lost deal. I decided to fake amnesia and stay at his place. We didn't get along, but our parents were best friends and were currently on vacation together. I was tired of the company cafeteria food, and Hui's housekeeper was an amazing cook. Lost in these thoughts, my eyelids fluttered involuntarily. Then I heard the nurse exclaim, Miss Sue is awake." Crap, I wasn't ready. Time for some acting. Channel my inner Zhang Zi. I opened my eyes, trying to project an innocent, confused look. He rushed to my bedside and waved his hand in front of my face. "Suyu, how many fingers am I holding up?" His hand was a blur. How could I possibly tell? So I clutched my head dramatically and said, "I don't know. But who are you?" He froze, staring at the doctor. "You said she was fine. Why does she have amnesia?" The doctor visibly panicked, fidgeting with his pen. This shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening." After a moment, he said, "The patient is experiencing temporary amnesia, but don't worry, she'll recover soon." I smiled at the doctor, then at Hui. To solidify my amnesia act, I asked again, feigning confusion, "Who are you?" My acting at that moment was Oscar-worthy, easily surpassing any of the big names. He seemed completely convinced. He hesitated, then said, "I'm your boyfriend. We've been dating for 8 years and are about to get married." Me? Was Hawaii messing with me, seeing through my charade? But then, Hawaii gently stroked my head. "You, it's okay. I'll take you home." Whoa. Either I was losing my mind, or Hawaii was. I stared at him, shocked, noticing his red-rimmed eyes, as if he'd been crying. Damn, that typhoon outside must be really strong. He was shedding tears in the wind. Maybe my expression was too stunned. He cleared his throat. "What? Don't believe me? How about a kiss?" To refresh your memory. Before I could react, I saw Hui blush and turn his head away, muttering, just kidding. There are people here." I blinked. It didn't seem like a joke at all. He'd been staring at my lips, and he really looked like he wanted to kiss me. Wait a minute. I'm just after his money, but he seems to be after my lips. Chapter 2. I was fine and quickly discharged from the hospital. Passing the hospital corridor, I glanced at the glass. Damn, I still had a philodendron leaf stuck in my hair, looking like a mess. Well, he definitely didn't want to kiss me just now. He wanted to get close and laugh at me. Yu, got your medicine. Let's go home. Holding the medicine, came running towards me wrapped in his trench coat, a warm and gentle smile on his face, making me momentarily dazed. Damn, this is the him I used to have a crush on. When did we become sworn enemies? Let me think. That year, sophomore year of high school. He was 17, I was 16. It was also the year Shun Huichuan transferred in. He was naturally attractive, with a high nose and thin lips. He was always top of the class in every subject, practically worshipped like the moon at school. Of course, I was one of those stars orbiting his moon. I skipped a grade, pulled some strings, and ended up in the same grade in class as Hui. He carried my backpack, cleaned for me. Even during the 800-meter run in PE class, he'd finish his 1,000 meters and then continue to run alongside me. Yu, if you're tired, I'll carry you home. Little Yuzi, come on. He always coaxed me with a smile and never got angry at me. It was normal for me, with my budding teenage feelings, to fall for him. Besides, I wasn't the only one who liked him. Countless people in the school did. Our relationship was great until that midterm exam. Before the midterms, Shun Huichuan transferred in. The two were evenly matched both in looks and grades. I heard that the day Shun Huichuan transferred, the principal lit several extra thick incense sticks. He was securing the top spot in the city for our school with these two. 2 days before the exam, he got sick for some reason. Pneumonia, coughing, he lost a lot of weight and lay listlessly on his desk. I felt terrible for him and didn't dare disturb him during breaks. I could only stare blankly at the difficult problems in front of me. Shun Huichuan, passing by, reached out and gave me a couple of hints. I quickly solved it and gave Shun Huichuan a thumbs up. As expected, someone capable of competing with my Hui. I was the youngest in the class. My baby fat hadn't faded yet, and I was fair-skinned, wearing the little lamb clothes Hui had given me to keep warm. I don't know if I resembled a pet, but Shun Huichuan ruffled my hair. Yo, little Yuzi. Caught off guard, I didn't dodge. But the next second, for some reason, I felt a chill. I turned around and saw Hui lying on his desk, squinting at us, his face full of coldness, like someone had robbed his home. In the afternoon, the sky gradually darkened. A sudden downpour came. Dark clouds churned, and white rain danced. When school was dismissed, we rushed into the rain before I could. Our parents didn't want to reveal their wealth for fear of attracting danger, so we always walked home. He didn't wait for me. I stood there frozen until a large umbrella shielded me from above. I looked up. It was Shun Huichuan. Didn't bring an umbrella? Let's go. I'll take you home. Looking at Hui disappearing into the rain, I felt a pang of guilt. I didn't know what I had done wrong to upset him. Long after I got home, I peeked from the third-floor attic into Hui's study and found he hadn't returned. Hadn't he left earlier? Why wasn't he home yet? I wanted to go downstairs and ask, but Hui suddenly appeared in my line of sight. He was drenched, looking no better than if he'd been pulled out of the water. He looked a little dejected and pitiful. Usually, he would glance at me from his study, but now he directly drew the curtains, preventing me from seeing him. The next day, Hui waited for me again, but remained silent all the way. I tried to talk to him. What did he yesterday? Shun Huichuan walked you home. Hui said. It was a statement, not a question. As he spoke, he took my backpack and put it on his shoulder. He was acting strange, but he was talking to me again, which made me happy. I was feeling pleased when I looked up and saw Shun Huichuan standing at the school gate, smiling at us. Hui looked at him, then back at me. That happy to see him? That was the day our relationship started to sour. For example, I heard Li Yujing, the school beauty, say that she hadn't brought an umbrella yesterday, and Hui had given her one. So the reason Hui hadn't waited for me was to give Li Yujing an umbrella. For example, I saw a good luck charm for exams on Li Yujing's hand. I heard it was from Yangshan Temple, and Hui had inexplicably gone to Yangshan Temple 2 days before he got pneumonia. For example, later, someone spread a rumor that Shun Huichuan and I were dating. I heard Hui say nonchalantly, "Who is she to me? Why would I ask her?" For example, The day Shun Huaichuan went abroad, I was feeling down because of the strained relationship between Hua Yi and me. He said, still upset about Shun Huaichuan leaving? Well, I snatched that business deal from your family. After that, we gradually became like fire and water, constantly trying to make the other back down, only satisfied when the other yielded. Chapter 3. In my memories, he brought me home. Even though we're neighbors, he brought me to his house. I dramatically grabbed his hand. Boyfriend, is this your house? It's so beautiful. I felt Hua Yi stiffen behind me, and then the sunlight turned his ears bright red. He turned to look at me and said very seriously, my name is Hua Yi. You've always called me A.E. before. Can you call me that now? Mia, when did I ever call him A.E.? The note I have for him has always been stubborn old mule. But since he wants to play, I'll play along. Did I call you A.E. before? I don't think it sounds very nice now. I'll call you hubby. Hubby okay? I can't beat him in business, so I'll annoy him to death. Hua Yi froze, his mouth twitching. Ha ha, scared you to death, didn't I? Unexpectedly, his lips curved into a slight smile. He bent down and slowly wrapped his arms around me. You, wifey. Who? His voice was so nice that I actually forgot to resist, letting him lead me by the hand into the house. The entire villa was empty. Aunt Lou was on vacation for a few days, so I wouldn't be able to eat her cooking. My mistake. Well, he was cooking noodles in the kitchen. Wifey, I'll make you some noodles. Wifey, do you want an egg? How is he so smooth calling me wifey? Does he want to humiliate me? You, wifey, have some chocolate while you wait. It's on the top shelf of the fridge. I opened the fridge, and there were piles of hazelnut chocolate, my favorite flavor. When I was little, I loved to eat candy, but my parents wouldn't let me, so I had to beg Hua Yi. He always managed to conjure some up. Damn, no wonder Hua Yi always had chocolate for me when I was little. Turns out he likes it too. I chewed on the chocolate and watched Hua Yi cook in the kitchen. He looked even better than he did in high school, broad shoulders, narrow waist. Even wearing an apron, he looked like a male model. The chocolate in my mouth tasted a little bitter, and I couldn't help but think of how he used to bring me chocolate when I was a child. A steaming bowl of noodles was served. Hua Yi had fried an egg in the shape of a heart. His bowl contained the leftover scraps. If only I really had amnesia. Then I wouldn't have to worry about him drugging me. The portion of noodles was huge. I couldn't finish it, so Hua Yi took my leftover noodles and ate them. Confirmed, no drugs. At night, when it was time to wash up, things got awkward. It wasn't me who was awkward, it was Hua Yi. Hua Yi stood at the bedroom door, at a loss. Wait, this is his bedroom. Why is he so nervous? Besides, we've known each other since we were in diapers. You sleep here tonight, I'll sleep next door. Call me if you need anything, Hua Yi said. I narrowed my eyes. He wants to conduct business behind my back. He called his subordinate after dinner and said to take advantage of today to have a video call with Shun Huaichuan and sign the contract. I heard him. I reached out and tugged on the corner of his shirt. Hua Yi, we've been dating for 8 years. Shouldn't we be sleeping in the same bed? Could it be? My gaze drifted downwards, and then I whispered, could it be you can't? Hua Yi's lips twitched, his face a mask of restraint. He looks annoyed, which makes me happy. I went directly behind him, closed the door, and locked it. No one is signing any contracts today. I looked at Hua Yi innocently. You sleep with me tonight? He wants to pretend to be my boyfriend to keep an eye on me and prevent me from going out to sign the contract. So I'll play along and tie him up in the name of being his girlfriend. I didn't have any pajamas, so after showering, I came out of the bathroom wearing Hua Yi's oversized shirt, my hair still wet. I was afraid that this guy would run out to sign the contract while I was showering. Hua Yi didn't leave. He was pacing in the bedroom. 10,000 steps a day, without leaving the house. Look at how anxious he is. His ears and neck are all red. Ha ha. Anxious about not being able to sign a contract. Huh? He glanced at me, and perhaps feeling guilty, his face turned even redder. He stammered, I'm going to take a shower. Go get squeaky clean. After hearing that, Hua Yi rushed into the bathroom. I sat on his bed, bored, and when I looked up, I saw a red lucky bag hanging in his open closet. This lucky bag seems to be the one Li Yujing got at the Yangshan Temple. After graduating high school, Hua Yi and I went to the same university, and he seemed to have lost contact with Li Yujing. He was too busy being my rival to have time for romance. The day after I said that number 5 on the school basketball team was handsome, he said my taste was terrible and then led a team to crush the school team. Chapter 4. When I was almost crying, he stood beside me, sarcastic as ever. You like this kind? A crybaby? I said the star player of the tennis team had great muscles, and he said I hadn't seen the world. The next day, he wore a tank top and strutted around in front of me. He'd occasionally lift his shirt to wipe his sweat, but it was winter. I envied others who could receive flowers on Qixi Festival. That day, I received a large bouquet of chrysanthemums from Hui. Other people got roses, a funeral of roses. Me, a funeral? While I was thinking about this, Hui came out, looking hesitant. You go to sleep first. I'll work for a while, he said. I widened my eyes. No way. Did this guy want to sneak off and work while I was asleep? I went straight to Hui and hugged him. No, you can't leave. Before he could say anything, I looked up at him pitifully and said, Hubby, stay, accompany me. Well, he didn't say anything and turned back into the bathroom. Who? Didn't he just take a shower? Ignoring him, I quietly formatted his already open computer and the bedroom door lock, then reset the passwords to my birthday. Tomorrow morning, I'll be the first one to rush out and meet Shin Huaichuan. After finishing everything, he finished his shower again. He came over with a hairdryer. Come here, you. I'll dry your hair. I sat in front of him, smiling. Since I was pretending to have amnesia anyway, I might as well boss Hui around. Hui, the wind isn't strong enough. Hui, you missed a spot? Hui, it's still a little damp here. Hui. I was putting on a full-blown spoiled brat act, but Hui didn't get angry at all and actually managed to coax me into contentment. I was drowsy in his arms. Oh crap, I just took my medicine and forgot about it. The medicine the doctor prescribed had a sedative effect. I collapsed in Hui's arms. The figure behind me stiffened slightly. Then I was placed on the bed. Feeling the person behind me about to leave, I grabbed his arm. Hui, don't go. I won't go. You sleep. His body was incredibly warm. Early autumn had a slight chill, and I unconsciously clung to him. In my sleep, I heard Hui sigh. If only this were real. What did he mean? If only this were real? He wouldn't want me to actually have amnesia? Would he? Chapter 5. Early the next morning, I woke up and found Hui was gone. The bedroom door was open. I quickly changed my clothes and rushed out. It's over. Hui must have gone behind my back to sign with Shan Huaichuan. I ran downstairs at lightning speed. The moment I grabbed my bag, I saw Hui's figure in the kitchen. Awake! He heard the commotion, turned around, and said with a smile. He looked at the bag in my hand, stunned for a moment, and said, Remembered? I was caught red-handed. How could I continue to pretend to have amnesia? I could only sit on his sofa, holding myself upright with my legs crossed. Well, pay me. I lost a day's worth of memories, and you pretended to be my boyfriend to trick me. Pay up, 50 million. Hui's face revealed a trace of inexplicable disappointment. What? Did he think I was asking for too much? Suddenly he looked at me. Su Yu, do you want 24? 6 billion. What? He is really good at sarcasm. He thinks I'm asking for too much, but instead of saying it directly, what does he mean by this? 24. 6 billion. He's offering me the entire whole corporation, which happens to have a market value of 24. 6 billion. I waved my hand grandly. I'm not that greedy. I just want 50 million. Hui sighed, didn't argue with me, but put the plate on the dining table. Eat. After he finished speaking, he went upstairs. Wearing thin pajamas, he looked quite pathetic. Sigh. I suddenly thought of a question. I changed the password to Hui's bedroom door. How did he get out? As I was munching on a fried egg, I saw Mrs. Lu enter using fingerprint recognition, and I suddenly realized, there's also fingerprint recognition. Mrs. Lu was overjoyed to see me. Miss Su, the young master asked me to buy this morning. Good morning, Mrs. Lu. Goodbye, Mrs. Lu. I grabbed my bag and slipped away. Reaching the gate of the whole residence, I quickly called Old Wong next door. Next door is my house, and Old Wong is my driver. Uncle Wong, come pick me up. I'm at the whole residence gate. Oh? I waited for Uncle Wong at the gate. feeling as if someone was watching me from behind. Turning around, I saw nothing, only the curtains swaying in the wind. But I'm nearsighted. I can't see clearly. Uncle Wong picked me up, then contacted the project manager, and soon we arrived at the hotel where Shen Huaichuan was staying. Shen Huaichuan didn't react strangely when he saw me, just glanced behind me. You came alone? Where's we? Didn't you two come together? I frowned. Don't tell me you're watching our two families compete, waiting for us all to arrive so you can raise the price? Shen Huaichuan shrugged his shoulders in confusion. Aren't you two one family? Besides, when has Hua Corporation ever competed with ours? Oh? Never competed? I heard him say yesterday that he wanted to sign with you. Facing my question, Shen Huaichuan sipped his coffee and said slowly, It's true that Hua Yi has been negotiating with me, but he's talking about cooperating with you, saying that your family has been involved in this industry for many years and has experience in channels. He helped me negotiate to sign a contract with my family? Shen Huaichuan said casually. Yeah, what's wrong with helping the person you like? I was startled by Shen Huaichuan's words. I almost thought my ears were malfunctioning. He said Hui likes me, and sends me chrysanthemums for Valentine's Day? Shen Huaichuan took a sip of coffee and looked at me, a teasing smile on his face. No way. After all these years, he hasn't confessed yet? Like you in high school, during the midterm exams, we were in the same exam room, and he even came over to assert his claim. I was completely dumbfounded. Did something happen between them that I didn't know about? On the day of the midterm exam, he arrived first and sat directly in Shen Huaichuan's seat. When Shen Huaichuan arrived, he showed no intention of giving way, instead raising his eyelids and staring at the newcomer. There's a rumor going around that you're dating Su Yuyu. Give me an explanation. Shen Huaichuan didn't back down either. Why should I explain myself to you? Who are you to Su Yuyu? Well, he stood up abruptly. I'm not who to Su Yuyu. I am Su Yuyu's, and likewise, she is mine. Shen Huaichuan smiled faintly, looking down. This guy looks smart, but is actually childish and troublesome. So, he asked, you like Su Yuyu? Hui Yi's eyes widened, his words incoherent. What nonsense are you talking about? It's the truth. Hearing this, Shen Huaichuan was truly amused. This guy is both childish and strangely cute. Hui Yi, let me tell you clearly, I don't like Yuyu. Hui Yi's gaze towards him softened considerably. Shen Huaichuan watched his expression change as quickly as flipping a page and teased him further. Hey, why don't you ask Su Yuyu if she likes me? Hui Yi stood up, looking embarrassed. Who is she to me? Why should I ask her? After Shen Huaichuan finished speaking, I still found it unbelievable. Shen Huaichuan, have you lost your memory? Or is there some kind of memory modification program abroad? Shen Huaichuan choked on his coffee, caught off guard. No. Are you two really that speechless? Just go ask him. Hey, do you like me? Chapter 6. After leaving Shen Huaichuan's place, I had my people handle the follow-up with Shen Corp while I went to find Hui Yi. Plan A. Ask him directly. Hey, do you like me? There are two possible outcomes. 1, he says no and mocks my narcissism. 2, he says yes and mocks me for being so slow to realize it. Either way, I'll end up being ridiculed, and I don't have the guts. I'm afraid the answer will be, I don't like you. I only believed about 80% of what Shen Huaichuan said. After all, Li Yujing is a thorn in my heart. Lost in thought, I arrived downstairs at Hua Corp. The typhoon was about to make landfall, and it was stormy outside. My trench coat was soaked, and fallen leaves clung to my high heels. I must be crazy. I should be at home snacking on sunflower seeds and watching TV. Now, for a possibly non-existent issue, I've come to interrogate Hui Yi. Even if he liked me before, it's not necessarily the case now. I turned to leave, but my wrist was grabbed and a trench coat was draped over my head. I looked up and saw Hui Yi with red eyes. His eyes were red, his nose was red, and his voice was choked with emotion. Are you here to show off your successful collaboration with Shen Huaichuan, or to show off that you're starting a relationship? I didn't answer him, instead asking, Why are your eyes red? Have you been crying? He wiped his face in a way that screamed guilt. I'm not crying, damn it. My eyes are watering from the wind. The typhoon is so strong. Can't I have watery eyes? He pursed his lips, and his eyes reddened even more. If you really got together with Shen Huaichuan, don't bother telling me. That weakling is no match for me. I've watched you grow up too. You've always liked that pink diamond at my house. I'll give it to you as a dowry. Hui Yi's voice grew weaker, sounding a bit pathetic. That pink diamond, he bought it for 520 million. I was practically drooling when I saw it. Hui Yi, why would a grown man buy that? Do you like pink? He glanced at me indifferently and said, like it? I nodded. Can't he see the longing in my eyes? I was dying for it. He smiled and said, I bought it for my wife. What wife? How do you know your wife would like it? He looked at me silently. And just when I forgot my own question, he suddenly said, she likes it. Now he's saying he'll give that pink diamond to me? I suddenly felt that what Shen Huaichuan said was slightly believable. As He pulled me into the building, I asked him, do you remember Li Yujing? He narrowed his eyes. Who's Li Yujing? Have you been watching a new drama recently? Me, Li Yujing, the school beauty from our high school. He thought for a long time, then asked me, who? We had a school beauty. I stared at him in disbelief. Li Yujing, you gave her an umbrella. You went to Yanshan Temple to get a lucky charm for her. Hui looked confused. What umbrella? Why would I give her an umbrella? I went to Yanshan Temple to get a lucky charm for her. He didn't continue, just sighed. Forget it. It doesn't matter anymore. It's all in the past. Now that Shen Huaichuan is back, if you want to develop things with him, wait until Uncle Su and the others come back and then formally visit. Stop, stop, stop. I interrupted Hui Yi, staring at him in utter bewilderment. Develop what with Shen Huaichuan? Develop a pure and revolutionary high school friendship. Don't you like him? You were heartbroken when he went abroad. In college, you liked player number 5, who looked a bit like Shen Huaichuan. Later, you liked the tennis player whose number was also 17, the same as Shen Huaichuan's in high school. I gaped at Hui Yi. Was he this good at making things up? Why didn't he just say I like player number 5 because, like Shen Huaichuan, he was also male? I pointed at the security guard at the door. If I said I liked him, what similarities do you think he has with Shen Huaichuan? Hui didn't seem to realize I was joking. Instead, he actually started thinking seriously. After a while, his answer was that the security guard's uniform was a similar color to Shen Huaichuan's clothes. Me? I looked at Hui Yi as if he were an idiot. Why don't you just say I like them both because they breathe? He muttered under his breath. I breathe too. I said seriously. Su Yi, you have never liked Shen Huaichuan. Your brain must have been kicked by a donkey to have such a thought. Hui Yi froze, his face a mixture of surprise and joy, but he still desperately tried to suppress it. Honestly, I imagined he'd have a similar expression when constipated. The strong wind picked up again outside. I pulled Hui Yi into the elevator and up to the 22nd floor, his private lounge. I probably spent more time at Hui Corp than at my own company. The strong wind suddenly cleared my mind, like dissipating smoke. Although I wasn't completely certain, I had a pretty good idea that Hui Yi liked me. His red eyes definitely meant he had cried, and he kept getting jealous of Shen Huaichuan. Cried from jealousy. Wait, he's this good at hiding it? A ninja turtle? I pushed him into a chair, trapping him between me and the backrest with my hands on the armrests. He looked at me pitifully with his red eyes, and I felt a thrill of excitement. I really wanted to tease him. Hui Yi, let me set you up with someone. I don't want to. What kind of person do you like? Innocent? Sexy? Male? Female? I ignored him and continued to ask. He tried to stand up and refused to answer my questions, but because I was blocking him, he didn't dare move. Hui Yi's ears were burning red, but he didn't dare look directly at me, only turning his face to the side. I reached out and gripped his chin. I was spoiled as a child, and after growing up and having a falling out with him, I became arrogant, which he indulged. I stared into his eyes. Hui, I'll introduce you to a girl who's about my height, looks similar to me, and has a similar personality. A flicker of hope flashed in Hui Yi's eyes, the kind of surprise I wanted to see. So I quickly said, my cousin Su Ju. You know her. She looks like me, has a similar personality. Everything is similar. Hua, he opened his mouth but stubbornly turned his head away, his chin escaping my grasp. He stood up from the side where I had loosened my grip. His eyes seemed even redder as he stood before me, pouting. Su Yu, how have I offended you? Whether I'm in a relationship or getting married, how does it concern you? His voice was a little loud, but not aggressive, filled with suppressed grievance. The room fell silent. Only Hui's heavy breathing could be heard. The office door suddenly opened, and the secretary walked in with some documents. Hui's tall figure completely blocked me, and from the secretary's perspective, I was invisible. The secretary looked down at the documents, not noticing anything unusual in the room, and said directly, Mr. The documents are ready. I'll send them to Shun Corp right away. Miss Su's deal is done, but should I tell her about all you've done for her? Secretary Liu was a veteran secretary. He only entrusted him with extremely important matters. Hui's lowered hand clenched. I poked my head out from in front of him and looked at the secretary. Secretary Liu, I already know. Secretary Liu froze, chuckled twice, and said, Miss Su, you don't know enough yet. Hui turned to look at Secretary Liu. Uncle Liu, please go out first. We'll talk about work later. Secretary Liu smiled and went out, but as he closed the door, he winked at me, then pointed at Hui, then at me, and then made a heart gesture. Then the heart broke, and Secretary Liu made a crying expression. He meant that Hui liked me, then thought I was going to get together with Shan Huichuan, and cried in the office? Secretary Liu closed the door and chuckled to himself. From his angle, he couldn't see Su Yu, but he could see her shoes. He did it on purpose. When will the boss get married? So he can have a vacation. And as a senior secretary, he was still doing Su Corp's work. Although the boss paid him well, he really wanted a twilight romance. After Secretary Liu left, I stared at Hui. His ears were bright red, and he fiddled with a pen awkwardly, mumbling an explanation. I wasn't helping you. I just thought you were stupid and worried you'd spend all of Uncle Su's money. I looked at him with a deadpan expression. Keep pretending. He kept talking about irrelevant things like how it was just a small favor and how it was due to their family's friendship. Until I walked up to him, less than a fist's distance away, he suddenly fell silent. Hui. He only needed to lower his head to see how close we were. Why did you pretend to be my boyfriend yesterday? Hui's Adam's apple bobbed. He stared at me blankly, and after a moment, he replied, Uncle Su and the others weren't home. I was afraid bad people would take you away. I nodded. Oh, still playing tough, still not admitting he likes me. Oh, then what did you mean by kissing me to familiarize yourself with the taste? Hui's gaze immediately fell to my lips. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, unable to come up with an excuse. I stood on tiptoe and pinched his chin. Do you crave me? At that moment, I felt Hui's body stiffen, or rather harden. What did you mean by I'll let you have what's underneath? What did you mean by wife you? Hui, what are your intentions towards me? His hands clenched at his sides, and his beautiful eyes looked at me, as if he had 1,000 words to say, but his tongue was tied. Lower your head, I commanded him. Yu. Why are you calling me? Ready to give me an explanation? The affection in his eyes was somewhat scorching, but his eyes were beautiful. He looked at dogs with the same affectionate gaze. I couldn't resist the urge to provoke him now. I want to start a relationship. I think Shun Huichuan. I didn't finish speaking, my words swallowed by his kiss. By the time I was limp in his arms, his low, suppressed voice reached my ears. My intentions towards you are just like this, Su Yu. I like you, I've liked you since we were little. But I was afraid you wouldn't like me back. Afraid that after confessing, we wouldn't even be able to be friends. Afraid that the person you liked wasn't me. Su Yu. I like you. Su Yu. Don't mention other people's names. If you want a relationship, be with me. I pursed my lips and told him, lower your head. I'll give you my answer. I stood on tiptoe and said, I don't think Shan Huichuan is right for me. Let's date. Just as our lips were about to touch, the voices of my parents and his parents came from outside his office. The wind is so strong. If we hadn't bought our tickets early, we definitely wouldn't have made it back. Hearing their return felt like getting caught red-handed. I instinctively let go and pushed Hua-Yi away. But he was leaning against the cabinet, and his head slammed against it from the sudden push. There was a flower pot on the cabinet, which fell and hit his head. When our parents came in, he was unconscious. 5 minutes after we just got together, Hui fainted. Chapter 7. At the hospital, the doctor was surprised to see me awake while Hua-Yi was unconscious. This time was different though. Hua-Yi's flower pot was Jingdezhen porcelain, and he was genuinely knocked out. The doctor said it was nothing serious, just a possible mild concussion and a forehead laceration that would heal with some ointment. He was brought home as soon as he regained consciousness. The typhoon was raging, and almost everything in the city was shut down. Our parents decided it was best to stay together, so we all remained at Hua-Yi's house. With nothing to do, our parents inevitably started their usual nagging, urging us to get married. As soon as they began, I declared, "Stop nagging. I have a boyfriend." Everyone was shocked, even Hua-Yi, who stared at me with astonishment. Our parents are close, and we're childhood sweethearts. Isn't it normal to announce a relationship? Why was he so shocked? Did he not want to go public? Also, he'd been staring at my lips ever since he woke up. They were a little red, and it was his doing. What was he staring at? I looked at Hua-Yi. Right, Hua-Yi? You know, my boyfriend. Everyone's gaze shifted to him, standing at the doorway. He looked at me with shock, hurt, disappointment, and despair. Before I could react, he grabbed my wrist and pulled me upstairs. Mom, Dad, Uncle, Anne, I need to talk to you. Hold on. Did this announcement require a discussion? He pulled me into his study and trapped me against the door, his eyes blazing red. His rough fingertips brushed my lips. Confused, I started to say, "What?" He suddenly asked, "Did he kiss you here too? Your boyfriend?" Me? Huh? Wasn't it him? Isn't he my boyfriend? I nodded. Your boyfriend. I know him? Who is he? Me? Huh? Did Hua-Yi lose his memory? Isn't he my boyfriend? I stood in front of Hua-Yi and waved my hand in his face. Hua-Yi, what's the date today? He replied, the 17th, the day our parents went on vacation. But it was actually the 24th. Hua-Yi, do you know Shin Huaichuan is back? Hua-Yi's eyes widened. He's back? Your boyfriend is him? Now I was absolutely certain. He had lost a week of memory due to the concussion. Our parents, ever the gossips, assumed Hua-Yi was trying to find out who my boyfriend was. They were all eavesdropping at the door, which was unlocked. The four of them stood awkwardly in front of us. Yu, what's your boyfriend like? I glanced at Hua-Yi and replied with a smile. He's great one, 85 meters tall. Hua-Yi scowled. Tall, so he must be ugly. When are you bringing him home to meet us? Hua-Yi's face darkened. It's still early in the relationship. It's better not to make it public yet. They bombarded me with questions, and I answered each one. For every answer I gave, Hua-Yi countered with a rebuttal. He insisted that the relationship shouldn't be public for at least 6 months. He declared that no boy should take advantage of me, and that my dad must chaperone every date. Furthermore, my boyfriend had to pass a physical test, including a 1,500-meter run and a 5-kilometer march. My dad, a typical doting father, agreed wholeheartedly with Hua-Yi and immediately decided he would be my constant chaperone. I gave Hua-Yi a thumbs up. Great idea. I love it. Hua-Yi's head still hurt, so he took some medicine and went to bed. Before falling asleep, he repeatedly warned me, men are all liars. Don't be fooled. The next day, the typhoon had passed, and it was sunny and bright. I had just gotten up when I saw Hua-Yi standing awkwardly in front of my door. What are you doing? Hua-Yi hung his head, looking like a bashful bride. Yu, I think I remembered everything after waking up today. I'm your boyfriend. I bought you your favorite soup dumplings. Let's eat together. I stared at him, a little uncomfortable with his attentiveness. He used to just knock on my door with the dumplings, leaning against the wall and saying lazily, I'm full. You can have the rest. I ate a few at the table, felt full, and left the rest. He picked up my chopsticks and continued eating. I didn't think much of his actions, but it felt strange that he was smiling at me. Usually, after eating the dumplings, he would tease me, You eat like a cat. Such a waste. As we were eating, my dad came downstairs and asked me about my plans for the day. I glanced at Hui. A date. At that moment, I saw Hui's eyes light up. If he had a tail, I imagine it would be wagging furiously. He looked rather cute. My dad said, "Okay, I'll go with you." He looked up abruptly. "Uncle, why are you going on our date?" My dad replied, puzzled. "Didn't you say yesterday that I should accompany you and make sure no boy takes advantage of her?" In that instant, I imagined Hui's ears drooping. Oh, the dejected puppy. A while later, my dad, and I got into the car. My dad looked at Hui. "Why are you following us?" "I'll go with you on our date." "You should go to work." Eventually, Hui was kicked out of the car. I looked at him from the window, looking utterly pitiful. I stifled a laugh and sent him a text message. "You said it yourself yesterday. No public announcement until we've been dating for 6 months." From the rearview mirror, I saw Hui's expression crumble. Without Hui, there was no date, so I made an excuse to drop my dad off at work and went to find Hui. Before I even entered his office, I heard him sighing. I pushed the door open and called his name. "Hui." He ran towards me smiling, still like a puppy. He pulled me into his office, buried his head in my neck, and said in a muffled voice, "Give me a title." I waved my hand. "You said it yourself? The relationship isn't stable enough to go public." Chapter 8. I secretly dated Hui for 6 months. On New Year's Eve, our two families had dinner together. After Hui's parents found out I was dating, they kept pressuring him. He couldn't bring himself to tell them, so he suffered in silence. He secretly held my hand under the table. "Hui, Dad, don't ask your sister for help. Your sister has a boyfriend. What about you? When will you bring a daughter-in-law home?" He looked at me. "You." I smiled at him. "Yeah, brother Hui, when will you bring a sister-in-law home?" After dinner, we took a walk together. My dad was still bothered about the son-in-law he hadn't met. My dad said, "Little thing, when I meet him, I'm definitely going to give him a good test." "Hiding him well, aren't you?" Hui blinked and said, "Uncle, there's no need for that, is there?" Dad said, "Why not? A good test is necessary. Is our Yu that easy to steal away?" He had a constipated expression. He couldn't say anything. I spoke up. "Dad, Uncle, my boyfriend is wonderful. He's tall, handsome, considerate, makes good money, gentle, and dotes on me. He's the best boyfriend in the world." He listened to me, a smile he couldn't suppress playing on his lips. As he was smiling, Dad suddenly looked at him. "What are you grinning about?" "She's not talking about you, you single dog." After the walk, and I set off fireworks in the courtyard. Our parents went back to their rooms to watch the Spring Festival Gala. When I regained consciousness, the faint smell of disinfectant filled my nose, and then I heard the doctor giving a medical report. But no one noticed how wide Dad's eyes were when he saw us kissing at the door. Then Dad called Mom. Mom called my mom. My mom called my dad. When we finished kissing, my mom and dad pulled me away. "Yu, cheating is wrong." Dad and Mom pulled him away. Being the other man is shameful. Later, after he explained everything, they finally believed he was the original boyfriend. My dad took out a stopwatch. "Come on, run 1,500 meters." Dad smiled at my dad. "There's no need for that, is there?" My dad stared at Dad. "Then we're taking Yu home." Dad immediately became very serious. "Go run. Run 3,000 meters. Later, after we were married, Hui gave me a lucky bag. "Yu, I should have given this to you in high school. I got it from Yangshan Temple and kept it hidden. I can finally give it to you today." You couldn't even run 800 meters back then. I was so scared, so I specifically prayed for this. "I never gave it to you." I asked him. "That day it rained. You didn't wait for me, and you gave Li Yujing an umbrella. Why?" Clearly, he also remembered that day vividly. "You didn't talk to me all day, and Shin Huichuan touched your head. I was so angry. It rained, and I didn't have an umbrella. I want to buy one for you, but when I came back, you had already left with Shan Huichuan. I just gave the umbrella to someone. I don't remember who it was. Then you could have used the umbrella to go home. Why give it to someone? Well, he hugged me, looking aggrieved. I was crying. If I used the umbrella, people would have seen. Well, a bit of a chinibio, but also very considerate. After we got married, Secretary Lou officially started working for our family. I feel like I've added a significant chapter to his almost retired life. But I need to teach my son, if you like someone, say it out loud, otherwise she won't know.